Roger dragged himself home after another exhausting day at work. At 24, he had already climbed to junior manager at one of Australia's largest companies, a position that brought both pride and pressure. His colleagues still called him the new boy, their smiles masking resentment towards someone who had risen so quickly while they remained in the same roles for years. Roger knew he needed allies he could trust, but jealousy poisoned the air around him. Then there was Sarah. Roger considered himself handsome and well-dressed, but around her his confidence vanished. She had just joined the company, and her intelligent eyes and gentle presence captivated him completely. Earlier that day, he had asked her to read some figures while he took notes. Only after she left did he realize he had written nothing except her name, over and over. Too embarrassed to ask again, he had to retrieve the information from grumpy old Mr. Ethan, who resented staying late for some young manager. Roger decided to walk home instead of taking the train, hoping the evening air would clear his clouded mind. Near his apartment, he passed an old antique shop with boxes of books piled outside. A handwritten sign read, "Shop closed today." As Roger bent to examine the books, one small volume caught his attention. Its ancient leather cover seemed to call to him. "Take it," a voice said. An elderly man stood in the doorway carrying another box. "My nephew's taking over the business. I don't want to leave him with all this rubbish. Help yourself." Roger slipped the book into his jacket and continued to a nearby restaurant. When his meal arrived undercooked, he complained to the waiter, who responded with barely concealed disrespect. While waiting for his food to be replaced, Roger examined the mysterious book. Dirt obscured the cover, but as he wiped it clean, strange symbols seemed to shift into English before his eyes. The title read The Book of Thoughts. The book opened by itself to blank white pages. Then, suddenly, words appeared in black letters. "He wouldn't look so pleased with himself if he knew what I put on his chicken in the kitchen. That will teach him to make me look silly." Roger looked up at the smiling waiter. The book was reading the man's thoughts. Horrified, Roger paid his bill without touching the food and hurried home, convinced exhaustion had made him imagine the whole thing. The next morning on the train, curiosity overcame him. He opened the book while looking at an elegant middle-aged woman sitting across from him. Words materialized on the page. "I've given him the best years of my life. He must decide today that awful wife and marry me, or I'll shoot him and myself dead." Roger noticed something hard in her handbag, a gun. He tested the book on a tough-looking man nearby. The words read, "I like chicken better than beef. Mum's a great cook. I love you, Mum." Roger smiled despite himself. At work, Roger learned he would lead an important meeting in place of his manager. This was his chance to prove himself, to impress Sarah. But when he glanced at Mr. Ethan's smiling face, suspicion crept in. He checked the book. The old man's thoughts revealed a cruel plan to hide crucial figures. Let Roger fail publicly, then save the meeting himself to humiliate the young manager. During Ethan's lunch break, Roger searched the old man's office and found the hidden papers. He copied everything he needed. The afternoon meeting became a triumph, and Ethan's face burned red with frustrated anger. Roger tried calling his brother William to celebrate with a soccer game, but William claimed he had movie plans. The book revealed the truth. I hate playing soccer with Roger. He always has to win. He never thinks of me. He never was much of a brother. The words stung deeply. Roger had never realized how his competitive nature hurt the people closest to him. The following morning, Roger saw a newspaper headline: "To die in lover's shooting." The photograph showed the elegant woman from the train. The book had been right. She had carried out her deadly plan. Roger felt sick. At the office, congratulations poured in for yesterday's successful meeting. But Roger couldn't resist checking the book to see what his colleagues really thought. The truth devastated him. They considered him arrogant, cold, possibly dishonest. Even the young employees resented him. Everyone smiled to his face while hatred festered beneath. During a lonely lunch, Roger stared at the book's cover. Could it show him his own deepest thoughts, the ones hidden even from himself? The possibility terrified him. He decided against it and returned to the office to finally ask Sarah to dinner. Sweet, kind Sarah, surely she was different. But when he reached into his pocket, the book was gone. Panic seized him. He searched everywhere: his other pockets, his briefcase, his desk. Nothing. Someone must have stolen it from the crowded cafe. Then an unexpected feeling washed over him. Relief. A crushing weight had lifted from his shoulders. Perhaps losing the book was the greatest gift of all. He went to find Sarah, who was chatting with Mr. Ethan. She waved at him warmly, and Roger felt hope kindle in his chest. He still had his career. He still had Sarah. The others didn't matter, did they? He could trust her, of course he could. He was almost certain of it. Almost